Life fundamentally is about exploration and animation of space. Life is always evolving, the world is always changing. Like, in fact, the only constant in life is change. When that change happens, it means that the framework that we have already created to accommodate our lives, the architecture that we have created, it doesn't really fit entirely anymore. When you look and listen and identify those changes, you get an opportunity to explore the possibility of giving form to something new, something that has not been given form before. In other words, it means giving form to the world that you would like to find yourself living in the future. The practicalities of everyday life and the orchestration of everyday life is already incredibly exciting. If you look and you listen and you learn, you can see that there's so much to play with. Humor is an incredibly big part of being a human being. When you look at basic form of a joke, the way it's structured is that you have a build-up that describes a world that you recognize, so you follow it. And then the punchline is completely surprising, but at the same time makes perfect sense. There is a great relationship between breakthrough idea and impactful punchline. In a project, you analyze the situation that has all these data points, and then suddenly the answer is not what you thought, but completely different. So humor is always trying to navigate this expectation and reality that in a way opens a whole new avenue of possibilities. The creative moment is never with intention. It doesn't really matter where an idea comes from. What matters is why you choose to pursue it. Our first building, it was the Copenhagen Harbor Bath that celebrates the fact that the port of Copenhagen has become so clean that you can swim in it. This notion that we called hedonistic sustainability was somehow the idea of trying to say, what if sustainability is not a compromise? What if it's not a sacrifice? What if it's actually simply the more desirable life choice? Trying to make the sustainable win because it's simply greater is somehow the route that we always try to take. If you actually inspire hope, you empower people to understand that we can make a difference and there is something we can do about it, so we should do it. I always felt that it was more interesting to try to take ownership of sustainability and try to make it the most desirable option. Darwin and the notion of evolution has probably been the most constant source of inspiration or recalibration in my thinking as an architect. The Earth used to be this kind of hyper object, too large to even see, that once you get out into space and you see the only place we know where we can actually live. The Earth, even though to a biological time scale seems to be static, Earth is actually incredibly mobile. And if you look not at 50 years or 100 years like a human time scale, but 100,000 or 100 million years, things change radically. And what's happening now with global warming, climate change, is that we are beginning to see changes in our geology happening at the speed of biology. So I think that shift is really having a massive impact on the choices we have to make this generation. We have the awareness, the realization, the wake-up call, and the dawn of the tools to begin to really become the great custodians of planet Earth that it deserves us to be.